Hebrew Hammer, Congressman Randy Fine. Take a look.
Congressman Randy Fine, great to have you here with us. Hey, you've been sounding the alarm on the threat of radical Islamism to the West, to America. We've seen some horrific events recently in London. Do you see Europe right now as a cautionary tale for the United States?
Well, yeah, to some degree, we've lost Europe. I mean, I don't call the UK anymore. I call it the United Islamic Kingdom. I mean, it has fallen. And I think you can look at what's happened in Britain and say that's where we're headed. And there was a time when they elected a radical Muslim as mayor of London, and look what happened. We may be having that in New York. So yes, if we don't want to end up like them, we need to make some big changes here.
Yeah, Congressman Sadiq Khan, there's a reason people call it Londonistan these days. Could that be the blueprint for, say, a Zoran Mamdani in New York City? We have a Muslim Somali candidate in Minneapolis as well. And we see this in major urban centers. It seems they're following that Europe blueprint, as you said.
Well, one of the greatest problems we have in the United States is the failure of our immigration system. So those of us on the right were very focused on illegal immigration. And obviously President Trump has made huge progress in dealing with that. I wonder, though, if the left wasn't using that as a giant feint. While they were overwhelming us with illegal immigrants, they were trying to slide in millions of legal immigrants at the same time who did not share our values. And the most disturbing thing in New York is if our immigration policy is working, the people who come here should have the same views of the people who are here. But if you look at the polling in New York, Mamdani's getting blown out by people who were born in America. Whether you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, he's getting blown out. He's winning overwhelmingly with people who just got here and became America. And that means we have failed as a country to bring people in who love America, share our values, and want to integrate. And if we don't solve that problem, we will not have the America that we love.
Yeah, I think it's something like 62% of all foreign-born New Yorkers support Zoran Mamdani. Hey, let's talk about your election, which wasn't too long ago. You're one of the, I think, 4 members, Jewish Republican members of the House right now, the newest Jewish Republican member of the House. Talk about your election, which is kind of goes along with what we were saying. Your candidate was a radical and then some, who you defeated, by the way, in Florida. Tell us more about that, how that went down, and what that says about where the Democrat Party is today writ large.
Well, we had a crazy election. You know, Trump won my district by 30 points, so no one expected much. And the guy I ran against literally introduced himself as a Muslim bisexual drug addict. So you'd think, well, he isn't going to win. But the Democrats loaded him up with $15 million of hard money. That's a record for any federal election ever over that short period of time. To give you a sense, he raised $250,000 every single day of the election. It's hard to raise $250,000 at all in a campaign. And it all came from questionable places through Act Blue. And they used that to try to flood the zone. Now, in the end,
What is Act Blue, real quick, Congressman?
Act Blue is the digital fundraising vehicle. But part of the problem with Act Blue is that if you give a small enough amount, you don't really have to disclose who you are. And you can use a prepaid debit card. So I could buy a prepaid debit card and give a $50 donation from you, and you'd never know about it. And so there's a lot of questions about where his money came from. To give you a sense, he raised $15 million. Only 3% of it came from Florida, not my district. I represent 1/28th of the state of Florida. There are 27 other districts. But in all 28 districts combined, he raised 3%. 97% of the money came not from Florida, can't be tracked to Florida. So it was a very bizarre election. I think it's a cautionary tale of what we're up against. But I still won by the same amount of points that my 2 predecessors won when they got elected the first time. So we fought back, we worked hard, and we won. But I think what it says about what the Democrats are willing to do to win.
Yeah, and now you're representing Florida on Capitol Hill. You've earned the nickname the Hebrew Hammer, and with good reason, because you tell it like it is. We've got this emerging strain on the right. Look, we expect anti-Semitism, anti-Israel madness from the left, from Islamists. But now on the right, we've got this strain, the woke right, so-called, people like Tucker Carlson. How concerned are you about that? And these folks are vicious. I mean, they'll come after someone like you or me on X, on social media, who defends Israel, who stands up for the Jewish people. How concerned are you about that trend?
Well, I am concerned. I talked about it a lot in my speech today. I called Tucker Carlson the most dangerous anti-Semite in America. And he is, because he's able to leverage a reputation that he created over several decades as a conservative leader. People who don't follow this every day don't realize that he's gone insane. That's the problem. Like 5 years ago, my father, who's Jewish, would hang up the phone with me at 8:59 at night because Tucker was coming on. Now I don't think he would stop if the guy was on fire. But that is an issue. It is a big problem. And I think a lot of it, frankly, is funded by the same people who funded the guy who ran against me. I don't see it as organic. There's massive amounts of Qatari money that's flooded the system, that's paying influencers. And that's something that I'm going to work on. I'm a politician. If people give money to my campaign, and I appreciate it when they do, I have to disclose who they are. But if you're an influencer being paid to put out political statements, you should have to disclose who your donors are as well. And so we're going to work on that, because I think a lot of what you see out there is ginned up by both Muslim terror countries, but as well as places like Russia and China that just want to foment discord in the United States. They just want to be fighting with each other, and they want to undermine our social democracy. And I think it's something that we have to work on.
Thankfully, we have a true leader in the White House, truly the leader of the free world. Once again, we have it in Donald Trump. Talk about his effect, not only in the Middle East, but in the world writ large. You mentioned Russia, China, I think of North Korea, this gathering storm of rogue regimes. But in particular, the Middle East, he's changed the game.
Well, I don't know that President Trump's just the leader of the free world. I think he's the leader of the world. I mean, everyone understands his power. And I think we are witnessing a unique figure in American history. There will never be another one like him. And the best thing I've ever done in politics was on November 23rd, 2 weeks after October 7th, I made the decision to endorse him for president. But even in my wildest dreams, I never thought the president or anyone could succeed in getting Hamas to release all of the living hostages. It's a miraculous thing. There's 7 billion people in the world. I think there truly was only one person who could have gotten that job done. So, Donald Trump will have a legendary name among the Jewish people for as long as history keeps track of it.
Yeah, peace through strength. It always works. Hey, last question, Congressman. Israel right now in a very good place. The Iranian regime, its axis has been smashed largely. We've got the hostages home, Abraham Accords back on the table. How optimistic are you that Israel, despite all the anti-Semitic madness happening right now, is moving in a really great direction, and we could see a new Middle East shaping up very soon?
Well, the anti-Semitism problem is an American problem right now. I think we have to differentiate the two. Israel's in a great place. I mean, it's established itself as the Middle East superpower. There's no question. I mean, it took on everybody. It took them on all at once, and it beat them all. And here we are in this war where Israel has permission to keep half of Gaza, to use it as a security border. Iran has lost its nuclear weapons. Hezbollah has largely been destroyed. So it's been an extraordinary success, and hopefully it shows the Middle East Israel's not going anywhere. So for all these countries that have tried to destroy it forever, let's work together. But in America, that anti-Semitism is on the rise, and we're going to have to deal with that.
And you're on it. We're glad we have you advocating for America, Israel, that strong alliance against the anti-Semitic insanity. Congressman Randy Fine, the Hebrew Hammer. We appreciate it.